Good morning, Steel Nation. Welcome to Steel Nation Australia, and thank you for checking out another video. Man, this Pittsburgh storyline is just continuing to flow during the off season, during the free agency coming up very, very soon. So already the Pittsburgh Steelers, like it or love it or hate it or dislike it or whatever you think. They've made two moves. Now, I can't say they're big moves, but they have signed safety Killebrew. They've also signed cornerback, the veteran Arthur Millette. So we have talked about those two players already in the previous two videos, but now is today for something different. We are now talking about Joe Haden. So I went through Twitter, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I was scrolling through Twitter, and I don't normally go through, I'm not in that space very often. I don't really like the idea of Twitter. There's so much hate and division and just actually there's a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap on Twitter. I hate being in there, to be honest. Facebook is hard enough with a lot of the comments and a lot of these everyone's got their opinion and everyone's arguing, hating, and like we need to support our team. We should be getting together to support the black and gold no matter what. However, I did find it interesting yesterday. Um, there was an idea around, and the source comes from the man himself. So we need to start to talk about Joe Haden and the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a free agent this year, number 23 for the Steelers. He's been in the league now, I think, over nine. I think it's been 9 or 12 years or something like that. I think he's played 7 years, 6 years with the Browns and 5 years with us. He's been there. He's been there a long time as a Steeler. Hopefully, he can retire as a Steeler. I don't know what is going to happen this year, but it was very interesting what happened with Joe Haden this week on Twitter. And I do know a lot of these things too, how to, these cryptic tweets, what do they mean? So let's look into a few things, what Joe said about what is happening and maybe the direction of the future of Joe Haden. And will he be a Pittsburgh Steeler? I don't know. But from the source, we always talk about sources, who's the source and where's it coming from? This is coming from straight from Joe Haden's Twitter, and I think it does speak volumes. So Joe Haden firstly said, take your hat, your coat, and leave. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? Take your hat, your coat, and leave. Hashtag Steeler Nation. Now, when I first see this tweet, I'm thinking, did someone tell him to take his stuff and get out of the locker room and you're done? We don't need you no longer as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Does the organization say, okay, mate, thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your 5 years. But I think we can't end up paying you enough money that you're asking, or we just can't afford to keep your position here. We would like to, but we can't afford to keep your services, and we wish you all the best. Now, remember, Joe Haden is, I think he's the highest paid cornerback in the league. I'm pretty sure from memory. Now, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but from memory, he's the highest paid cornerback in the league. So you break it down. What does this tweet, or this first tweet on Joe Haden's Twitter, number 23, take your hat, your coat, and leave? What does overly mean? Does it mean anything? Does it mean is he talking about, he's went to someone's party, or someone came to his house and they forgot their stuff, and one of his mates left their coat and hat behind? I don't know. Or does it really mean that the actual fact is the organization behind closed doors, they're in contracts, and they obviously can't pick his contract up for him to be a Steeler? I would say Joe Haden's got a good, maybe 2 to 3 years left in him. He would like to go win a Super Bowl. I don't think Joe has even won a playoff game, which is so, because we can't win a playoff game. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game in the last 4 tries. There was no chance in buggery that he was going to win one with the Browns. So yeah, I would also push the envelope a little bit further and say, would Joe Haden be a Pro Football Hall of Fame cornerback? I would hope so, but I think he also needs to get that one Super Bowl, or at least go on a playoff push. You have to do something in this league. And so judging from this first tweet, take your hat, your coat, and leave, I think he might be at the door. I don't know. I think maybe both parties can't agree on a contract. they can't agree on a fair price where the Steelers win and Joe Haden wins. Let's see how it plays out. But as we go on through more of his tweets, that there was about, I think I've got 4 here today. As in the second one I'm going to show you, it starts to explain a little bit more. Now, Joe Haden then retweeted, I think that's what it means. Jerry Fuller says, if this is it for you in PA, how many players can say they played for the Browns and the Steelers and was loved by both fan bases? Says a lot about you, not only as a player, but as a person. Go get you a ring. Joe Haden confirmed that, said, appreciate it. Both fan bases and cities have been amazing to me and my family. Now, that is very true. That is very true. I've always liked Joe Haden. I've been a Steeler fan for 20 years, and I have always liked Joe Haden. Even when he was with the Browns, I liked him over there. I thought he was a humble, a good human being, a good person, and I thought he played the game in the correct way. I thought he played the game with honor, integrity, spirit, passion, power, finesse as well. I thought he always played it to the best of his ability, and that's why he's the leading cornerback in this league. At least for payment. He's been in the league, I think, 12 years. I'll go and reconfirm those stats in a minute. But I think he's been there 12 years. So that is true. The one thing that we can agree on, the Browns fans and the Steelers fans, is that we both love him. We both want him to be, if he does go to the Hall of Fame, we want him to retire with our team. And he may retire with both because he's built such a legacy with the Browns, and he's building or has built a legacy with the Steelers. Okay. Now let's head into what he did then tweet next for his third Twitter, which almost, it just reconfirms the idea of, good vibes only. So he puts that out there. He's putting some tweets out about he might be leaving. He could be going here, there, or anywhere. So he puts that out. You can't read too much into that, right? It's just good vibes only. That's the kind of guy he is. But the last one I wanted to show you guys, if you guys didn't see this on Twitter, and look, I don't blame you if you don't, because I can't stand Twitter, to be honest. I just don't like being in there. This one's a good one. This is from the defense sign guy. If you've ever seen a football game in Heinz Field, you always see this guy. You always see the guy holding up the big, defense sign. He's got it all signed by all the players. So he tweeted out and said, all my respect to Joe Haden. I wish it could be for 23 more lifetimes. And Joe Haden responded, all love. So with those 4 tweets coming from Joe Haden, the man himself, does it look like that he's out the door and he's saying goodbye to Pittsburgh? In my opinion, I think it does. I think these two, the organization and Joe, can't come to a settlement. They can't figure anything out to do with contract basis. Now, Joe is maybe asking for too much money, or on the other side, the Steelers aren't giving enough, right? You need both parties to be happy. I'm happy that Joe has been a Steeler for 5 years. I'm a bit annoyed that we didn't get him a playoff run. We didn't get him a playoff win, and we didn't go and get him, a Super Bowl, right? But I'm happy that he's been here for 5 years. I think since 2017. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think that Joe is out the door? Lack for a better word. Do you think that Joe has had his time in Pittsburgh? Do you think that the Steelers do we need a player like Joe? Like, he's a great veteran in the locker room, but can he keep up anymore? Can he still run with the big receivers, like Chase and those fellas? I don't know. He's getting up in there in age. He's about 30 plus or 33 years old. It might be time to say, thanks, mate, for your time. And the Steelers are going to move on. But we'll have to see. I would be happy as well if they go out and sign him for 2 years, one last run in this incredible defense that we're building with TJ and Alex and Cam. Have another leader in that locker room would not be a bad thing. Would not be a bad thing at all. So just before I leave, we'll go into some of his career stats just lightly. Joe Haden has 158 games, tackles 615, interceptions 29, which a lot of them came with 19 came with the Browns and 10 came with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Joe Haden has been playing since 2010. So almost 12 years. He has 7 collective forced fumbles. The big one I like too is the pass deflections. He has 155 pass deflections. But the body of work for Joe Haden, as you can see there, is huge. The big question, however, is will the Pittsburgh Steelers give him enough money where he's happy? And or would Joe Haden take a little bit of a pay cut to stay with the Steelers? They need to figure out a mutual agreement where both sides are happy. And judging by these tweets right now, it looks like that Joe Haden might be out the door. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting development, that's for sure. But yeah, guys, what do you think? Do you think he's coming over back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, or is he heading to another team? Who knows? What I do know is it's going crazy already. We are so close. I think we're a few days away from the free agent, like the actual starting period. And when that happens, there's going to be news flying everywhere. So if you do enjoy the content, Steel Nation Australia, please hit the sub button because I'm trying to build I'm on the road to 500 subs. When I can get to 500 subs, I'm keen to dive into the community posts, and that's my next goal. 500 is my next goal. So yeah, thanks guys for checking out Steel Nation Australia. I'll see you guys next time.